morning. For various reasons, Howard Zinn's book, A People's History of the United States, comes to mind this morning. Exploring and understanding history from the point of view of the indigenous ones, black and brown persons, from women, the non-landowner. This book was required reading before I lived overseas in Wales, and as I embarked on a season of working and learning about U.S. and cross-cultural issues and trends and dynamics. The book continues to inspire, guide, and haunt me all these years later. I'm also aware in these moments as I stand before you of how privileged I have been and am as a white, heterosexual, landowning, vanilla, upper middle class male individual. I am pleased about this and embarrassed. I am proud and challenged. I am grateful for this status and all the safety that has come with it, and contrite for my complicities, ignorance, and laziness at times, for not assisting enough in overturning the scourge of paternalism, patriarchy, and the infringements on the sovereignty of women and many other fellows along the way. I'm sorry, but this sounds like my own Reformed Church prayer of confession I grew up from my childhood, so bear with me. I invite you and us to consider the telling of good news, to be an evangelical, perhaps to reclaim the word by being a prophet and evangelist in this age, in this season of election, as the world wages war with missiles and words, with airstrikes, violence and vitriol, deception and nastiness. Perhaps we can be ambassadors and evangelists for a humanity that presents balance and that brings about a freedom to be for all people, a humanity and personhood that allows all to be who they are and their best and truest becoming, to share real good new news that comforts, set others free, that invites others into spaces and movements that include and inspire, a news that brings about a changing of the guard, a news that builds bridges between ones of all persuasions, beliefs, and perspectives. Let us not retreat as men and women from this task and opportunity, but always be more thoughtful and honest and poised than our previous selves. My son is returning from the Middle East. Someday he can and will share news of his experiences that entertains and confounds and astounds and humbles. What is our news? How can our message and very being be that which heals and transforms, that which supports the sovereignty of another, that unites us in common accord, that allows us all to challenge and transcend any cultural cage that threatens or limits or oppresses? The opportunity is awesome. It's daunting and exciting. And many wish things to remain the same or even return to some earlier expressions and realities of imprisonment and limitation for much of the population. And I admit that I like my cushy existence as it is in many ways. But we in this world are on the move, and it is time to celebrate the possibilities and the challenges, the desired and needed changes, the changes for more equality, tough speaking, being and doing in the face of oppression, changes in surrendering for a softening and salve for all hurting, limited, and bound. You and me are wonderful, acceptable, loved, and lovable just as we are, and we need a little work.